Thank you for tuning in to tonight's game. Your game is coming up next. But here's some information from the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
6 easy ways to become an MVP. And by MVP, we mean most valuable parent. Like all of us, the parents of high school athletes tend to protect their children from adversity, or they overly involve themselves by advocating for their success. But when they do, they're negating the value of participating in high school sports. Among other lessons, high school sports teach teenagers to take nothing for granted, how to overcome obstacles, and that an extraordinary commitment of time and effort is required in order to reach goals and experience achievement. High school sports also encourage independence and self-sufficiency, attributes that are needed to be successful in life. It's natural for parents to love their children, and it's important to support them in as many ways as possible. With this in mind, here are 6 easy ways that you can be the MVP of your child's high school team. Number 1, attend your children's games as often as possible. Nothing demonstrates interest and involvement more than being there. And be sure to invite Grandma and Grandpa to come along with you. Number 2, cheer for all the kids on the team, not just your own. Here's a test for you. Do you know all the players on your child's team? Could you say hello to them by their first name? Embracing the entire team is a great way to show that your interest is sincere. Number 3, be a resource for your child's team. Does a teammate need help with transportation? Is the team trying to raise money for new uniforms? Is someone needed to organize a pizza party before the tournament starts? Maybe you can help. Number 4, try not to criticize the coach or the officials in front of your child. Hey, you're human, and there may be times when you need to vent, but be careful when and to whom you do it. Criticizing the coaching staff undermines its credibility and tends to put your child in the middle. And games are seldom won or lost because of an official's call. Remember, coaches and officials are objective. Most parents are not. Empower your child to talk with the coach about concerns. Everybody wants more playing time, and understandably so. But encourage your children to have that conversation with their coaches instead of you doing it for them. Giving teenagers the confidence and conviction to speak up for themselves is one of the greatest benefits of participating in high school sports. Number 6, focus on the life lessons your children are learning, not on win-loss records or how many points they're scoring. According to the NC2A, only about 2% of all high school athletes win a sports scholarship, and the average value of it is less than $11,000. But every child will benefit from the lessons they've learned as a result of participating in high school sports for the rest of their lives. It's difficult being the parent of a high school athlete. There's far more emotion and social pressure involved than is ideal. But if you follow these 6 pointers, not only will your children love and respect you, but so will their teammates and coaches. And you might even be named MVP. Thank you for your support of high school athletics in Indiana. Stay tuned now. The Indiana SRN game is next. Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
What a beautiful evening, fall evening for some soccer here on Indiana SRN. Number 4 in Class 2A, the Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles host the number 7 in 3A Zionsville Eagles. Alongside Joey Lindstrom, I'm Jonathan Mathis, and we're happy to have you with us here on Golden Eagle TV, presented by Indiana SRN. Both teams are looking forward to the postseason coming up. Sectional play begins next week. Guerin got a very favorable draw. And Zionsville has a very tough sectional coming up and a very daunting opponent coming up on Monday. So a tune-up game is very in demand for both of these two teams. Guerin enters this matchup coming off of a draw. They've only drawn a couple times this year, but the last one was against an impressive Carmel Greyhound team, and Guerin held their own against the team in the top 10 in Class 3A, playing one class above Guerin, to a 1-1 draw. Before that, Guerin was on a winning streak that was quite impressive. They took down Cathedral, Covenant Christian, Heritage Christian, and Brebeuf, conceding only one goal while scoring 13. Zionsville, on the other hand, is entering off of a loss against a conference rival Brownsburg, and Brownsburg not that threatening, but it was still a 2-1 or 2-0 disappointment for the Eagles. Before that, they had won 3 straight. They beat Hamilton Southeastern, who is a very good soccer team. They beat Cardinal Ritter. They beat Evansville Harrison, but that Brownsburg loss gives Zionsville a little bit of a bad taste that they'd like to wash out before they get into sectional play. Sectional play looming. Both of these two teams strong defensively. They only average less than a goal per game. It's a little depends on how you count it or how you round the numbers. Guerin averages .82 goals per game. Zionsville .88, so that would round up to almost 1. Both teams' offenses quite prolific. Guerin averages over 3 goals per game. Zionsville a little over 2. But that's nothing to shake a stick at, Joey Lindstrom. And if you're going to look at something that really helps the Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles, that midfield's caught your eye.
That's right, Mathis. It really, really has. What Guerin does really, really well is they attack and they keep the ball from their opponents. And tonight we're going to see nothing different. They've been able to put on a clinic by utilizing their midfielders and getting the ball to their striker, Tommy Hartman, down and scoring from a scoring distance.
Yeah, he has been quite strong this year. 8 goals for the junior. But if you look at the lineup, and we'll look at the lineup more in depth coming up, but Guerin for the first time on one of our broadcasts starting 3 forwards, and Hartman, Joseph Lafioska, and Lucas Pignon, and they combine for a little impressive 16 goals so far this season,
Slightly
which
impressive.
is a little less than half of what Guerin's done.
That's slightly impressive. Yeah, they absolutely have created opportunities for themselves pretty much anywhere they go. And that happens because this midfield is really so mature and smart for their age. They have such a high soccer IQ, and that's just great news for them because they have just absolutely great center backs in Bedford and Binoco that put the ball in position for when they attack, and they're able to, like we said, keep that ball from the defenders and put themselves in great positions.
For Zionsville, one of the keys not only will be attacking Guerin and then maintaining possession, but keeping them out of goal. And Zionsville has pitched 9 shutouts so far this season, and it really helps if you have a great goalie like Gavin Raff.
Yeah, Gavin Raff has been nothing short of spectacular just all year. A junior that is able to lead his team, and while he's not a captain, it sure feels like it. He's been so much better about communicating. Last year as a sophomore, being, I think we had talked about before, he was just absolutely great communicator last year. He came in kind of into his own and broke out of his shell, really, so to speak, and so he was able to really utilize a lot of his communicative skills. More of a quiet guy last year, but now able to get his guys where they need to be and command them around.
Let's take a peek at the starting lineups for both of these two teams. For Guerin Catholic, the home team, and you see them there in black. They'll be starting a very different starting lineup from what you're used to if you've been watching Guerin games all season here in Indiana SRN. It's a brand new formation, and we don't really know how to classify it, so we'll just go through it the best we can. In goal is a familiar face, wearing the 00, Alex Gardner, the junior goalkeeper. The lone center back is number 5, Mattia Bernoco, the senior. And then there's a bunch of midfielders. What we're guessing is some of the who will be playing backs is number 4, Ethan Mason, the senior, and number 11, Matthew Wright, also a senior, and the reigning Guerin Catholic Player of the Week. In the midfield, from effectively left to right, is number 12, Aiden Susi, a junior, then 2 senior captains in the middle, and number 7, Ethan Cabotage, and number 10, Ethan Thornburg.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 160,000 participants here in Indiana who take part in high school sports.
Never miss a big game by downloading the IHSAA TV app for free on any device. For your iPhone or Apple TV, check the App Store. On your Android or Android TV device, load up the Google Play Store. Have a Roku or Amazon Fire Stick? We have the app for you. Check us out on Facebook Live, Twitter, or YouTube Live by searching for IHSAA TV. Or as always, click to IHSAATV.org for quick and easy access to your favorite IHSAA live and archived events.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great. Participate!
Welcome back, folks. So where were we? The other starting lineups for Guerin Catholic is junior midfielder number 17, Peter Hall, and he's joined by Gardner, Bernoco, Mason, Wright, Susi,
Alex
Cabotage,
Gardner,
and Thornburg.
Number 2, Lucas Pignon.
The forwards
Number
for Guerin
3,
Catholic
Joseph
are number
Lafiosa.
8, junior Tommy Hartman, senior number 3,
4,
Joseph
Ethan
Lafiosa,
Mason.
and senior number 2, Lucas
Number
Pignon.
5, Mattia
For
Bernaco.
Zionsville, in goal is number 00, Gavin Raff. Senior among the defenders, number 18, Charlie Wagner. Number 19, Nick Peace, who's a captain. Number 20, A.J. Jacklin, a sophomore. Number 23, Zach Beesh, a senior. The midfielders, number 2, Brady Metzger. Number 8, Daniel McFarland. Number 11, Connor Jones. Number 16, Alex Backhouse. And 17, Alec McCarty. All of them are seniors. Backhouse and McCarty are captains. And the forward is a senior, number 14, Jackson Eiler. The weather for tonight is quite nice. It's a perfect fall day, 55 degrees, and it will only cool off from there. It's partly cloudy. The wind is noticeable, 13 miles an hour out of the west, and there's a chance of rain, but only early, and then it's going to be smooth sailing from 8 p.m. on. So, Joey, we're getting set. What do you want to see out of Zionsville? What do you want to see out of Guerin?
Yeah, Mathis, I think the key for Zionsville, Eiler's their guy, and he's been so good at just being able to create a lot of opportunity for himself. With Foster being out tonight, there's only room for him to step up. So Zionsville being the defending state champs, those are big shoes to fill, especially when they have lost so many guys. So how do they respond with that? They've obviously done well with their 9-5-2 record, so it's going to be so interesting to see how they react to this great Guerin team tonight.
And we'll see the very first initial offensive possession. Nothing doing for these two teams. And now Guerin trying to win this initial possession. And this is what we're expecting to see is these two teams, especially Guerin, maintaining possession. But that doesn't work exactly there as Backhouse able to pluck it away. And now some helter-skelter Bernoco involved, trying to ping-pong between a couple Zionsville Eagles. And now Guerin looks to slow things down, but a frantic pace by the Zionsville Eagles. Working all the way to the near side. That's Matthew Wright, the player of the week. The soccer teams between the boys and the girls have been well represented as players of the week at Guerin Catholic. It seems every week there's at least one of them has been involved, and it's been a very successful fall season for Guerin Catholic as a high school and an athletic department. believe, 5 conference championships so far, including both the boys and the girls team. The gentlemen and the ladies both went undefeated in Circle City Conference play, with the boys winning back-to-back conference titles, and now they're looking to extend that into the postseason and get back to where Zionsville was last year, which was a state championship.
Yeah, Guerin already moving up the ball offensively, and this is exactly their strategy. They want to be able to keep the ball away from Zionsville, not even have a chance, really.
Oh, and Pignon had it plucked away by Backhouse. He feeds over to Metzger, and then didn't get enough on it. Cabotage able to collect it. La Fiosca will try it over to Peter Hall. Right again, sends it, and this is something you've noticed. Guerin very mature in their approach. They're not afraid to pass it back and then just reset things.
Patience is a virtue for the Eagles here, and they're absolutely
first offsides.
On point. But they get the offsides there, but they're waiting and waiting and waiting for a gap so that Zionsville can open up and that Guerin can go take advantage.
Yeah, a little over aggressive by the Golden Eagles in that juncture. We'll see if this is a typical occurrence for a Guerin Catholic game. They're on the receiving end of those free kicks a ton. And here's Matthew Wright. All the way over to Mason.
Throughout the night tonight, we're going to have to see if Zionsville has the gall to keep moving the ball patiently, because as much as Guerin wants to keep the ball from them, sure, Zionsville wants to do the exact same thing.
And Zionsville, a very impressive team. There's been some matchups of late for Guerin. Obviously, Carmel excluded. Heritage Christian very good in their class. But this is the toughest competition. This end of the stretch for Guerin, really good primer for Class 2A. We are playing 2 top 10 teams in Class 3A. Zionsville number 7, Carmel currently number 10.
Not only that, Zionsville is they're gonna have a huge matchup for their sectional coming up, and so this is gonna be a great preview into what we're gonna see eventually.
Yeah, we'll look at those matchups in depth later, but Joey's 100% right. That opening game against North Central, number 2 in the state, and then we'll take a peek at the semifinals in Sectional 10. It's very challenging, that end of the bracket that Zionsville will eventually find themselves on. And right now they're having a hard time maintaining possession, but nice touch there. Giving run is Hall. Sends it up the side. Pignon had it plucked away by Charlie Wagner.
Zionsville continuing to push in and push up on the offensive end.
Yeah, the forwards, the front for Zionsville, a lot more aggressive than typically you'll see. They're not letting Guerin's defensive backs just do whatever they want, pass it freely.
No, they're not, which is huge, because as we've seen a lot of Guerin's opponents before, not really respect as much offensive power as they have in their patience. They really keep the ball away from themselves, and that's not good. You want to be able to control the pace of this game.
So nothing here in the early going. Nobody's really been able to get no shots just yet. It's Cabotage. Looks to feed it ahead. Tommy Hartman, his first real touch, a little too strong for La Fiosca, but it's Pignon. That's a glancing blow, and then Gavin Raff with the delightfully unnecessary dive, able to stop it.
Gavin Raff definitely wanted to make sure that one had no chance of going in, although it was a little bit to the right of the net. That's okay. He's getting his reps in. He's getting warm. It's windy out there.
It is. It's, as I said, windy and cool. It's an ideal fall day if you love that type of weather, which both Joey and I do. See how the players handle it. The ones on the sideline all bundled up.
That's got to be the hardest part if you're not out there right now.
Here's Joseph La Fiosca. He is out there, and he's got room, and he's tackled by Raff.
I love the physicality on the defense there. That was great. That was great to see. Gritty play.
Over to the near side. Here's Wright. No one on the receiving end except for the head of Charlie Wagner. And this one will be ushered out of play.
corner kick awarded to
The
the
first corner kick of the game will be going to Guerin Catholic. Great scoring opportunity for the Golden Eagles. It'll be Peter Hall. He scored a goal this year. Sent on over the head of one of his intended targets, and then Susi will track it down on the far end.
And almost there, that's for sure. We almost got to see a header.
It was ever so close if he was just a couple inches taller. That throw-in finds the foot of some Zionsville Eagles, and then Pignon battles back against Backhouse.
Guerin back on it.
And this is the challenge for Zionsville, and really any team trying to play against Guerin Catholic is being able to maintain possession, and that's been a challenge for all these teams.
Yeah, I think what Guerin does so well is they allow the other team to make that mistake, and they capitalize on it. We'll have to see the slow play.
This will be over to the near side. Pressing it up the side of the pitch is Ethan Mason. Now Lafioska. Battling with Daniel McFarland, number 8 in white. I got up to Jackson Eiler, playing back towards the midfield to set up the Zionsville offense. And here you go, Joey. The Zionsville Eagles doing what the Golden Eagles do so well, which is reversing field.
A little taste of your own medicine kind of game.
It is, and now here's Hartman. Sends it ahead over, glancing off the scalp of Zach Beach.
Good hustle.
And then trying to run it down. Did he get there in time with Susi? And he did.
Great hustle there by Susi.
Aiden having a really good year for himself, the junior. Scored twice in the season opener against Cardinal Ritter. Been quite impactful, making runs for Guerin Catholic, and here he is on the corner.
High ball.
Oh, he skied it.
Yeah. Oh, like me trying to hit
it. And that one is hoifed out by Zionsville, giving a run as Eiler. Shadowing him was Ethan Mason. It'll be a throw-in for Guerin Catholic. Referee lets him play on. That was a little tussle between Peace and Susi.
I do like it. Let the boys play. They're not going to have a lot of stoppages in this game, so you might as well.
Yeah, Aiden Susi, he's got himself mentioned quite a few times here in the early going. Made the long run to get the corner, and then in the battle with Nick Peace, a captain for Zionsville. Over to right. Glancing blow, headed high. Still loose. Raff finally collects it.
Take a deep breath, Raff. That was close. That was very close, almost a disaster, but great recovery. Way to figure out your stumble and recover that ball.
Yeah, that one a little bit more contentious than the first one that Gavin faced. Still, we'll only say one real shot in this match so far. Eiler turns it around to McFarland. He leaves it ahead for Connor Jones, and then out of play.
A lot of physicality on both sides right now, and this is what I like to see out of soccer, is being able to sort of force your will on the other team. And I don't see either side complaining either, so I see they're obviously craving the contact.
And a little stumble by Hartman will be a Zionsville free kick. Backhouse will do the honors, the senior captain.
Seems like both teams right now are just trying to figure out how they can control the pace and just make sure they're playing their game and not trying to just continue to, just keep the ball away. You have to play your game. You know what you're good at.
And he's giving himself plenty of time to set this one up, let his teammates get downfield. Nice entry. Still free, and maybe an opportunity for Guerin Catholic. This one popped really high and not able to be maintained. Sent around by Thornburg as we go inside. We played 10 minutes in this match. Bernoco will swing it over. to Mason. Now giving a run Susie, and that one just driven away by Jacqueline. Trying to center it to Pignon. Lucas been coming on strong of late. He scored twice in the Brebeuf game 2 games ago. That was the last Guerin Catholic win. Thornburg having trouble maintaining it. Might turn it over at midfield, but no. Guerin Catholic once again very strong in the midfield, being able to maintain possession even when they're threatening to lose it. This feed up to Hartman, no good.
I think for Zionsville, though, you have to make sure that if you make that mistake, it's okay. You just got to get back on D. You got to get back in your position, not get out of sorts.
Lafioska, drive into the net, and Joseph Lafioska has scored for the 5th time this year, and Guerin Catholic leads 1-0.
What a goal. Top shelf for Lafioska. And not, I mean, he absolutely drilled that one.
Fantastic shot by Joseph Lafioska. And it's 1-0.
Checking into the match during the stoppage of play for Zionsville, number 12, Ben Recht-Ziegel.
What an unbelievable little sequence there. Like, just got done saying that Zionsville needs to make sure that when they're out of position, they need to get right back into it. And that time, I think Lafioska, he just ripped a snipe. That was great.
Let's take another peek at that one.
I mean, see, he just saw the opening and just let it loose. He maybe even thought that was going over the bar, but or off the crossbar, but no, there was no doubt about that one. That was a sure kick.
A nice strike by Lafioska. Becomes the second leading goal scorer for for Guerin Catholic on the season. Zionsville, on the other hand, facing a familiar deficit for Guerin Catholic foes. They're looking at the wrong end of a 1-0 lead. And now, how are they going to? They got to change it. There's so much time in this match, obviously, but they do need to be able to flip the script around.
Yeah, 12 minutes into the match, you give up your first goal. I think that's okay. I mean, I think you say, you know what, we let you guys have that one, or maybe we didn't try to let you. That was a great shot. But I mean, we let one in, let's say, and now you have to respond. I mean, you got to figure out how this game's going to go, because now you're down 1-0 early, and you make sure you got your plan going forward.
This one over Hartman, led too far. Zach Beesh heads it out of play, and Guerin is matriculating the ball up the side, throw-in by throw-in. Susie swings it, Cabotage drops it. Bernoco sends it over, and Mason will drive it over even further. That one, the wind seems to be playing some tricks on these players. We saw the one corner that just hung in the air. We've seen the ball's been, when it gets elevated, has been playing some tricks on these players.
It has, and when that happens, you need to. Sometimes I think wind makes players weary, you know. So I think you got to be able to adjust to that. Do what you know is best, and that is just kicking as you normally would.
Whistled for offsides.
And second offsides of the game, that one against Guerin Catholic. And Zionsville going to be able to get 9 players down range, headed on. A couple arms a flailing, and it's sent back, and here's these volleys, and that's first strike, roughly 12 minutes in by Joseph Lafioska. The difference here in the early going of this match, 2 top teams in their respective classes. Guerin 4th in Class 2A. They've been kind of stuck in 4th place. Memorial from Evansville, Gibson Southern, Concordia Lutheran up in Fort Wayne. They've both been in that top 3 range for most of this one. Speaking of which, number 3, Lafioska, fed it over. Trying to find Hartman. He turns, and Raff saves it.
Good job by Raff to just come out and play it right away.
Goal kick awarded.
That's hard to do. Try to leave the net a little bit, and he does a great job of recovering and being able to get himself between the goal and the net.
Yeah, that's something Rob Jordan was quite excited about, is just his ability to do that. He's an athletic goalkeeper. He doesn't just sit there and wait for it, and we've seen him pounce sometimes unnecessarily, other times very presciently, to stop any possible attack with the exception of Lafioska scoring from distance.
And we can hear him too. I mean, we got our crowd noise turned up by our producer Clay, who and now we hear him communicate, and that's something we talked about early on, is that his biggest transition and biggest improvement has been his communication on the defensive side.
We're trying to work around that on that boundary, nothing doing. Will Varner for Zionsville couldn't find room. Oh, miss hit maybe by Thornburg, and opportunity here for Zionsville. We'll see. Wagner gives it up to Battleau, and he loses it.
Good moves. Way to be agile amidst all those defenders.
It's a good lead as the fan noticed trying to get to Lafioska, but he was swarmed. Varner has it tackled away. It'll be a throw-in for Will Varner and Zionsville.
Into the match for Zionsville, number 9, Jack Sweeney.
Or not. To the delight of everyone, Jack Sweeney has subbed into the game.
Jack Sweeney, a crowd favorite.
He's popular. He's popular in that section of Hamilton County. Yeah, that was slick.
Zionsville not letting up, though. I mean, they're keeping this ball right in the midfield on the opposite side of Guerin. In the past, we've seen Guerin's games where that's quite the opposite. Really, they keep the ball on the opponent's end most of the time anyway.
Yeah, Zionsville's shown a lot. They just down on the scoreboard. And if you want to be down on all things happening in Indiana SRN and be able to see not upcoming events, but live events, past events, you can do so on the Indiana SRN app, any app store, or where you can download apps. Just go in, download Indiana SRN. You can watch these. You could watch this while watching the volleyball game between Heritage Christian and Zionsville going on. Not Zionsville, Guerin Catholic going on right now. There's an NFL game tonight. You could watch any of our events while watching that. You got multiple screens.
Number 11, Connor
There's
Jones,
nothing wrong with
back
more
in
sports.
for the Eagles.
No. Wagner tried to get over to Battleau, and Leo will slip. Ooh, careful on those cleats, man. Those cleats.
It's just a flesh wound.
I like he popped up really quick, which is what you got to do if you're going to wipe out in mid-game.
Nice
Hopefully
header.
get back indeed. And there's Lafioska again at the front of the Guerin Catholic attack. And Wright will send it out of play. Heady play by the current Guerin Catholic defenseman.
Yeah, Matthew Wright, a great heads-up play and knocked that ball out of bounds, and then after a great agile play by Zionsville.
We're about to eclipse our first quarter of action in this match, and Joey Lindstrom, what are some takeaways so far as we getting ready to move on in this game, but 20 minutes almost gone?
Well, it's clear that Guerin has no fear taking chances. I mean, we saw that goal by Lafioska. They have the attack on their mind. They want to get the ball into the scoring zone and keep it from Zionsville. But right now, I feel like Zionsville, a little bit, they're creeping back in a way where they know that they're playing their game. They're making some nice moves, just as we saw there. And this is going to have to continue if they want to stick around.
Yeah, and Alex Gardner, one of his first cameo appearances of this match. He hasn't done much, hasn't had to. Guerin, while Zionsville has done quite well in battling for possession, it has been mostly in the middle third of the field.
And that speaks to, the midfielders that have so much experience, really on both sides, but the maturity that Guerin's playing with has really kept the ball in the mid-third, like you said.
Yeah, that foul against Ben Rexzigel of Zionsville, number 12. We alluded to it earlier, but the postseason coming up ahead begins next week Guerin Catholic, this team in action. Hold that thought, folks. And on a bit of a breakaway is Backhouse. Trying to send it ahead and snuffed out by Gardner.
And
Gardner was on that one. He snuffed that out, and he went ahead and he did his little barrel roll to get that ball recovered, thankfully before his Zionsville player got there.
Sent on by Hartman. Ushered further by Susi. Wagner deflects it away.
Great play by Wagner to be aware, and good timing on the kick as well.
So we'll go back on what we were just about to talk about. In sectional 26 at Cardinal Ritter, Guerin Catholic has the first game, and that's on Monday against Lebanon. And that is the first time that Guerin Catholic will be playing Lebanon, at least in the last 5 years. So new opponent, Lebanon, was 6-7-2. So 2 draws, 7 losses, 6 wins on the season. The winner of that gets Covenant Christian on Wednesday. Time to be determined. The other teams, Cardinal Ritter plays Hamilton Heights, which should be a compelling matchup. And then the only other ranked team in sectional 26, Burbuff, who comes in at number 20, which is the last spot, plays Western Boone, who has not been very good. They are 1-9. So we'll see what happens ahead of time. You could have potentially the Ritter-Burbuff matchup in the semifinal. But Covenant Christian awaits the winner of Guerin Catholic's next game on Monday against Lebanon, as now we get ready to the winner go home matchups here in the postseason.
That's always the most exciting time.
It is. You get to build it all up, and this game a good tune-up for both of these teams as we have 18 minutes remaining here in the first half. Goal from Joseph Lafioska, 12 minutes in, or 11 and a half minutes in, being the difference. And here's Susi on the outside from the wing.
He's trying to okey-doke him.
He did, but
Great
that was the legend Jack Sweeney of the Ovation, who was cutting him off at one side, and Nick Peace had him on the other.
Jack Sweeney fueled by his intense crowd. And he did a great job. As long as you have your body between the opponent and the ball, you're fine to make that physical play like that. That was a great job.
And especially got the help coming in too. Here's Eiler. Nice move by Jackson. Being pressured on that far side by Susi. Now it's Wright's turn. And Matthew Wright got the better of Eiler.
Matthew Wright coming off that strong week. And being named player of the week, no less. And now he's that's always about how you answer to something like that. And he's playing really well so far in this first half.
This ball headed on. Lafioska gives it a run with Peace with him. Oh, he lost it. Peace got it with his back foot. And he battles well to the delight of his teammates on that sideline. Thornburg will reset things. Zionsville sectional draw the easier side. The quarterfinal is Short Ridge and Pike, relatively speaking. Pike's pretty good. They're 16th in Class 3A, but a lot of ranked teams. The only not ranked team in sectional 10 is Short Ridge, and that's who Pike will play in their opener on Monday. Zionsville plays Monday as well against the really challenging North Central Panther squad. Westfield and Carmel will play in the quarters or in the semis on Wednesday. Westfield and North Central, the winner of that match gets the winner of Pike and Short Ridge. But sectional 10, very challenging. There's a lot of great soccer being played on the north side. So sectional 10, positive for both of these two, well, for Zionsville and sectional 10. The winner of that, Noblesville, is technically in the north regionals, and sectional 10 plays in the south. So they would avoid Noblesville into potentially the state championship. But yeah, you have to get through the sectional first, and whoever gets through sectional 10 is going to have a nice look at potentially making run to state if you can survive a challenging sectional. And here's stolen away by Eiler. Not going to be a quick hitter by Zionsville, and then getting the ball stolen away was Jones. And the whistle.
Tough there. I couldn't tell if they got tangled up by accident or if there was more of a deliberate trip. Hard to tell.
Yeah, the way they acted looked a little more friendly fire than angry. Get the respectful high five.
Sometimes you can get a little chippy in soccer, though.
You can. We've seen that before. We saw that our last broadcast of the boys' game against Cathedral. And there's a lot of backstory in those matchups. A lot of inner, not only but in the same diocese, the same parish playing against each other. So a lot of familiarity between those two teams, and these two, and just playing, growing up. And Zionsville looking for their first chance. Rex Ziegel. No one was there for him to lead it to. Cabotage ushered it over. Cranley sent it back.
And typically, what happens is a lot of these kids grow up playing maybe club together, what have you, in their townships, and you cross over town borders, and that gives the chance to play against a lot of these guys, whether it is traveling or not. And that leads the way to having some good rivalries in high school.
Backhouse sends it ahead. Varner there. Or Battleau, excuse me. Wagner. Strong defense by Guerin Catholic once again. That back line for the Golden Eagles. Very hard to penetrate.
Guerin continuing to just be on the offensive, and I mean, you have to be able to continue to be aggressive, if I can find my words, just like this.
Susi. Saved by Raff.
That time Raff did a really good job of keeping it in front of him. The English of the ball just bounced straight back into his hands.
And Raff gathers in.
Don't know if he planned that or not, but good save.
It worked. It's played pretty well in that neon green goalie kit. Inside 13 minutes to play. 1-0. It's been that way for a long time. Cranley. Susi. Michael gets it back. And the ref says it's a throw-in for the home team.
That's not allowed.
And maybe a little premature throw-in.
Number 2, Lucas Pignon back into the match.
Good one-handed catch. Too bad too bad it's not so applicable in soccer.
Yeah, and he showed off his multi-athletic talents.
Yeah, these two, center and right back, you just got to be able to put yourself in those positions to get the ball down to your strikers. This has been good for all of them.
I was a little far ahead. I think Keegan Burhax.
There you go.
And Pignon. He's got players with him. But also there, Gavin Raff.
Good anticipation by Raff, not even hesitating to interrupt that play.
And he's been doing that consistently. The only goal scored by Guerin was one that Raff wouldn't have had a chance at. It was hit perfectly by Lafioska, and it was from distance too. But every other one, Raff has been pouncing on, has been very aggressive, wiping away chances.
Jack Bohm.
Zionsville has been really good about making sure that they stay home on defense as well.
We're close to 10.5 to play here in the first half of action here on Golden Eagle TV, presented by Indiana SRN. A couple Eagles battling out here. Beginning of autumn. Wrapping up the regular season with the postseason on the near horizon. Guerin Catholic looking to add a second score to this lead. Oh, and that one's a little bit mishit. Didn't get enough on it. Thornburg came to the rescue, though.
Great play by Thornburg, recognizing that situation.
Now Cabotage will drop it. Wright will send it. And he caught Peter Hall leaning.
9:45 to go. If you're Zionsville, you gotta try to just nail it offensively with these last few minutes of this half, closing out. Have something to go into the half with a lot of momentum.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at this, I mean, Zionsville going in down 1, you would assume rather disappointing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's some situations if you're like, okay, we're going up against a great team, we're we're right in it. But you're Zionsville, you're number 7 in 3A. You don't want to go in on a 2-game losing streak with North Central looming. You want to get the W. Nine minutes to play. Programming alert. If it does rain, we might lose our camera for a couple seconds before we get things recalibrated and ready for the rain gear. So just if it cuts out, that's what's happening. Just the rain, we'll be fine. And we'll have the camera back on as soon as we can as Thornburg mishandles it.
Tough one there for Thornburg. You could see he wanted to just turn around and get back out to his midfielders, but unable to do so on that one. Lost his foot a little bit.
Inside 8.5 to play. Zionsville. A couple more opportunities here.
Whoa.
That was hit to the.
Hopefully no one's carrying their concessions behind there.
Yeah.
That ball sailed in the stands.
Yeah, he ushered that one on. We said that in our weather report at the beginning of the game, in the pregame. Chance of rain.
And soccer balls.
And soccer balls. It's going to be rain drops of water and bright yellow orb. That'll be easy for Raff. A little contact, but they're going to play on. Peter Hall tries to leave it ahead. Per Harks gives it a run.
There you go, set up. I think he just got a little burned out on that one. After getting clipped a little bit, I think that it probably deterred him from getting onto the ball a little bit.
I think he got a pretty good argument for it.
Checking back into the match for the Golden Eagles, number 8, Tommy Hartman.
7 minutes. I think you got to make sure if you're Guerin that you are staying on the offensive too. They do say though that the most dangerous lead in soccer is 2-0 because it gives the opportunity for the opponent to score quickly after they get that first goal. So we'll see what maybe they want to carry the lead in Mona lead in the half.
Oh, we'll see.
That was Mathis.
We'll see. Cranley, Pignon, Sensen, rolls into the goal.
Maybe they did want it after all.
That was Michael Cranley.
Michael Cranley. Makes it 2-0 for the Golden Eagles.
I don't know if it was. I mean, he got the benefit of maybe a little mishap there by Raff. We'll be able to see it again here pretty soon. But what a great play, and also set up by some nice positioning there.
We'll see about that positioning. Here's Cranley.
Yeah, it just routine shot. I feel like he's made that shot probably a million times before practice or maybe even in a game too. So it's obviously something he's been familiar with. Good play.
The visiting Eagles stand at a 2-0 deficit. Thornburg takes a tumble, but Joseph Flafioska got his 5th of the year much earlier in this match, a little over 11.5 minutes, about 11.5 minutes into this one. Then Michael Cranley gets his 3rd with just over, 34 minutes, 33 minutes in. Now A.J. Jacklin having to battle with the team in black, and they lose possession.
They're letting the boys play.
And this is where a little respectful contact earlier, and situations like this, you're now down 2. We'll see how the referee plays it.
That didn't look so respectful.
Guerin in no rush to restart it, and now here we go. Bernoco. Matthew Wright.
Looks like Guerin's going to want to stay aggressive on their offense.
Here's leading goal scorer Hartman, and he has it blasted away, and the whistle sounds.
Yeah, Tommy Hartman wanted it there, I think, but ultimately Zionsville got a piece of it.
So opportunity for Zionsville if they can capitalize here with about 5 minutes to go. Here in the first half, there have been a lot of positives for Zionsville, obviously a lot for Guerin Catholic. But Zionsville needs to be able to turn what has been some decent offensive possessions into actual shots. They have not recorded one yet. Guerin out shooting Zionsville 5-0.
Guerin's so quick on the offensive end to get it down here.
Speaking of which, saved by Raff.
Good save by Raff there.
And Gavin Raff.
Got to definitely know your geography as a goalie. You need to be able to make sure you're in front of the goal, and he was. And so that had he not tried to go for that ball, that maybe had a chance to go in.
Eiler trying to juggle it back to himself. Rex Ziegel played it on. Eiler, Guerin Catholic not giving Jackson Eiler any room to breathe. Seems that most touches he has, there's a couple black jerseys around him. Four to play. And Zionsville can reset things.
Guerin definitely continuing to put on the pressure as they should. You're only as good as how much you want it, especially in soccer too, because there's a lot of stamina, fatigue issues, and you need to have that willpower to continue on. And especially going into the half, you want to make sure that everyone on your team is on the same page about your momentum.
Yeah, and things in soccer can change so quickly and suddenly.
Anything can happen. That's what's so good about this sport.
In Zionsville, you just get that one. You see that 0 turn into the 1. It changes teams where the belief increases, confidence increases. But that's the challenge for Zionsville. They got to get through. They got to get a shot off, which they haven't been able to do yet.
Zionsville's been really, really good about getting on defense in transition and preventing those type of plays. Both Guerin goals have come from straight shots, really, where they've been in front of the net. And so I think if you tighten up your areas in your zone, you're going to be able to figure it out.
Yeah, that's a good insight, Joey, because Guerin hasn't really been able to do anything on set pieces.
Right, absolutely not. And then all their goals have kind of come from that kind of scrum spot where they find an opening.
That's true. And that could be a sign of just how dangerous the Guerin Catholic offense is. They don't need to rely on set pieces. We've seen, as you pointed out, just individual performances. Speaking of which, nice run by Susi. And fed on. But Raff there.
Just a little long on that pass. Good recovery by Raff there.
If that could have been timed a little more perfectly, it couldn't have found a more agile target in Tommy Hartman. He's been the leading goal scorer for Guerin on a very balanced Golden Eagle attack on this season.
Heads up.
Yeah. You're never out of harm's way.
Who said soccer isn't physical?
Not him. Here's McCarty. Eiler. Cabotage is there. Wright sends it towards midfield. Redirected by Backhouse. Up ahead is Leo Batalo, and he trips up on the ball. And there's two defenders there, including Leonard. Centered well, shot high and over the goal.
Oh, you gotta be kicking yourself. No pun intended, but you have to capitalize on that. And when you're down 0-2 and you get that goal, that could carry some huge momentum into the half.
And as it stands, 60 seconds to play. The score remains 2-0, although Zionsville's best opportunity of this match was sent over the crossbar, and Gardner barely even had to jump, just let it go. Whirling and twirling was Pignon.
Yeah, definitely had that one spot, a little fear there. His eyes looked like a deer in the headlights for about a second that the ball went over the goalpost, and he was. Then he sat a little prettier, I think.
Well, on the offensive end, you even have those opportunities. You almost psych yourself out too much. That goalie looks so little among that big, massive space. And then Zionsville, they got to go quickly here. 15 seconds to go. See, sprinting over, there's Backhouse.
One more play.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Didn't have time to wait for everybody to get there. Here's the Zionsville set piece, headed high by Guerin, and triple zeros on the clock. A fantastic first half by the home team. The Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles lead 2-0 over Class A Class 3A number 7, Zionsville. And for the Guerin Catholic perspective, Joey Lindstrom, what did you see out of them? You've been studying up too, and that midfield play that you were highlighting earlier was very impactful in this match so far.
It has been really, really impactful, Mathis, and I think that's attributed to how mature these guys act. They might not all be juniors and seniors, but they play like they've been playing together forever, and they know their strengths. They know they can. Their big advantage tonight, at the very least, has been getting themselves in just those little spots where they have open shots, because they're really Zionsville's credit, has taken away the transition offense that Guerin has done so well in the past. So what they've resorted to is those little spot shots that have worked so well and have resulted in 2 goals.
I think also something that Zionsville has done in this match that most teams that Guerin has played has not is Guerin typically has just all the freedom in the world for their backs to pass it back and forth and reset, and we've seen Zionsville attack those.
Yeah, Zionsville has done so well at making sure they attack the weak points of Guerin, although there are not many. They have done a really good job of creating opportunities for themselves. But really what they do need to capitalize on is getting shots on goal. We saw that one at the very end that sailed over the goalpost, which, as unfortunate as that is, you need to be able to capitalize on those. And now you have something to build off of, and because Guerin was not able to get back on defense on that particular play. They were kind of scrambling. So if you're Zionsville, I think you take that and you say, hey, you know what? We have the opportunity to get into their zone. We have the opportunity to pass and create shots for ourselves. It just took us almost a whole half to do it.
We're about to step away for a little bit. Guerin Catholic leads Zionsville 2-0, but when we come back, we're going to preview the second half, get some keys. What do the Zionsville Eagles need to do to get back in this one, try to get themselves not only in this match, but trying to tie it up, and what does Guerin Catholic need to do? And then we'll look ahead at the postseason coming up here on Golden Eagle TV, presented by Indiana SRN. We're going to halftime. The Golden Eagles lead the Eagles 2-0.
I'm Mary. Welcome to Guerin Catholic High School. Many people believe that we're just like any other school, but I'm here today to show you that we're not. At Guerin Catholic, we are family. Now I know that sounds crazy, right? How can a school be like a family? Well, it all starts with St. Theodore Guerin herself. Her charisms inspire us every day. She's been praying for us since before the school was built, before we were even born. On one of her many resting places, it says, "I sleep, but I watch over the house that I have built." As a student, it's so inspiring to know that we have our own saint in heaven praying for us every day. But if you really want to understand what Guerin Catholic's all about, there's a lot more you need to know about us, starting with who we are. Mother Guerin also has some advice for the teachers. She says, love the children first, then teach them. It is these wise words that inspires our teachers to motivate students and look for the best ways to meet each student where they are. You might think with all this love, academics might not be important, but there is nothing further from the truth. It is because of our faith in seeking the truth that we aspire to know all that we can know. But we can't stop there. We have to know how to think about the knowledge in order to make a difference in the world. Whether you need a little extra help or you're ready to be challenged with an international baccalaureate diploma or anything in between, there is a place for you at Guerin Catholic. But we're not just about academics around here. At Guerin Catholic, we are well-rounded. There are so many ways for you to get involved. Obviously, we have sports. We have 21 athletic teams, including swimming. And if you don't play a sport, we're all about supporting those that do. Our student sections are so much fun. We are spirited. And we also have 43 clubs. So if you don't see anything you like, you can start another one. We also have band, choir, orchestra, and theater. We are involved. At Guerin Catholic, there are so many ways for you to discover and use the gifts that God has given you. We are creative. Getting involved in these activities is not just about having fun. It's also about developing skills that help you become a great leader and providing opportunities for you to lead. At Guerin Catholic, we are leaders. Another great way for you to grow as a leader is through service opportunities. There are so many ways for you to share your gifts with others. Mother Guerin says, you will be happy yourself in making others happy. That's what service is all about. By connecting to local organizations or through mission trips, you'll have plenty of opportunities to serve. At Guerin Catholic, we are compassionate. There are so many opportunities to travel at Guerin Catholic, from mission trips to Costa Rica to performing in New York City. We are explorers. You will find the Guerin Catholic community all around the world, working, singing, and learning, all to get closer to Christ. Here we are at our chapel. This is where I leave you. But as you think about your future, I'll give you one last piece of advice from Mother Guerin. Do not give way to uneasiness about the future. Place yourself gently into the hands of Providence.
Welcome back, everybody. A little infomercial. Guerin Catholic. The stars of the hype video are leading against Zionsville 2-0 here on Golden Eagle TV, presented by Indiana SRN. Alongside Joey Lindstrom, I'm Jonathan Mathis. And that first half, we saw the 2 goals from Guerin Catholic. The first one came about 11 and a half minutes in by Joseph Lafioska. Then Michael Cranley knocked one in with a little under 7 minutes to go. But Zionsville looking at that 2-0 scoring deficit. What do they need to do, Joey, to claw back into this one?
Zionsville needs to get themselves in positions where they can score goals. They've been too lax on offense about getting the ball in front of the net. I think they're spending a lot of time shuffling sort of in and out of the mid-third to front third of the field to where they can go put themselves in position to score. They're just not getting balls on goal.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I think what Zionsville's biggest challenge is going to be this time around is getting the ball away from Guerin, because Guerin, we talked about in the beginning, is just going to keep preventing the other team from holding the ball, right? So if Zionsville can't get it into scoring position, it's probably because Guerin has the ball the entire time and they're able to keep it with themselves. So Zionsville needs to make sure that they have continued efforts to just go all out and show that they just want to win this game, show themselves that as they go into this sectional, a tough sectional, by the way.
Yeah, brutal sectional. Zionsville has on Monday. Number 2 in the state, North Central. North Central 11-2-1, playing a very daunting schedule. Although Zionsville has played well against North Central over the last 5 years. They played twice, and Zionsville's won both times. Outscored them 4-1. But this North Central team is really good. Zionsville is also very good. But whoever wins that game, you likely are going to face Pike, one would assume, unless Shortridge upsets them. And then the winner of that, so you have ranked team you're playing in the opening game. You have most likely a ranked team in the semifinal. And then in this sectional championship, you're either getting Carmel, who's number 10, or Westfield is number 15. That's a tough road.
Oh, that's such a tough road. But I mean, hey, the best teams play the best teams, and so you want to make sure that you're on par with those kind of teams as well. So that's going to be their biggest challenge going into the sectional.
Yeah, Guerin Catholic's road on paper a little easier, but never know. That's why you play the games. Guerin's next match, the only quarterfinal matchup at sectional 26 is against Lebanon. And then Guerin Catholic, if they beat the Lebanon Tigers, get conference rival Covenant Christian, whom Guerin played not that long ago on the 17th and dispatched 5-0 in a pretty thoroughly dominant performance. The other side of sectional 26, there's Cardinal Ritter and Hamilton Heights play on Tuesday, and then number 20 Brebeuf plays Western Boone. The winner of those play each other. And Guerin has one goal entering the season. That's to win state. They're number 4 right now. They've been number 4. They've been in the top 10 the whole season. They've been number 4 for quite a while. And sitting at number 1 is Memorial from Evansville, and that was the team that not only won state last year, but knocked out Guerin Catholic. So you want to be able to get back at them, and they're going to have their chance later in the postseason if they can take care of business in the sectionals.
Guerin's biggest key in the sectional is going to be how can you show that you can keep the ball away from your team, just as they've done. Anything can happen in soccer. So a team that hasn't done so well can all of a sudden do incredible in the sectional and win, right? So it's going to be how can you stay in it, how can you make sure you play your game and control the pace.
We'll see this pace about to get restarted by La Fiosca. Checking in Zionsville, one of the reigning state champions. The other state champions all still sit at number 1 in their respective classes. Down in Class 1, Argos, number 1. Memorial from Evansville, number 1 in 2A. 3A is the only current class where the runner-up, check that. The only runner-up, that's changed this week. The only runner-up still in the rankings is in 1A, where Lutheran is number 8. But the other runner-ups, second-place teams, didn't make it or have gotten bounced. A little subdued after the super hype music, the little subdued first 30 seconds. Metzger got turned around, sent it back.
Checking into the match at halftime for the Golden Eagles.
Cabotage.
21, Nate Lamb, fresh off the IR list from the first one of the earlier matches in the season.
There you go, Nate.
Yeah, glad to let the PA handle that one, but Nate Lamb, academic All-State last year, and he the last match he really played in or appeared in was on senior night, where he started and then stayed at forward, sent it back, and then Guerin just sent it out of play. There you see him in the red shoes, number 21.
Zionsville, I think, got a trip up there, but you got to be able to keep it on the offensive like this.
Gobbled up by Gardner. That one plucked away from Lamb. Chance here for Eiler, maybe.
Cross pass for Eiler. Good D.
Batted down by Bernoco.
See there, I think Guerin probably would have shot that ball like they had a couple times, and they scored those 2 goals. But Zionsville maybe not as apt to take that risk.
And that's something when the way Guerin Catholic has been playing this season, especially since their restart after the delay that they had earlier this year with the related to the COVID situation that Guerin had. They have been looking really good. They've been playing really aggressive, and those, you're right, when they see an opportunity, they take it, and other teams, maybe Zionsville hesitant in that moment.
Probably been the biggest transition I believe that Zionsville has made is from coming off a state championship win where you have those big shoes to fill. You got a lot of young guys playing. You're not the same team. You don't have the same type of team, type of talent, type of scheme. So what you have to do is you have to adjust kind of on the fly, and you got to be able to do it well. And so Zionsville being a little more conservative in their approach, whereas Guerin is a lot more aggressive and once they have the ball beyond that that half when they're attacking, excuse me, that's when they're at their best. So each team just having their own assets.
Yeah, and Guerin Catholic, they're never afraid to attack regardless of the scoring situation. We've seen that throughout this season. They could be up 6, they could be up 5, and they're still going to be going. They did that against Cardinal Ritter. They did it against Cathedral, Covenant Christian. No one fly off the branch, same time.
Checking into the match for the Golden Eagles, number 18, Andrew Rice.
And it'll be Keegan's turn to throw it in. A little bit behind Bernoco. Or not Bernoco, Lafioska. Excuse me. Here's Eiler, and he's swarmed again. Thornburg able to pluck it away from him before Eiler had much of an opportunity. And here's Thornburg, karate kicking his way across midfield. Sends it on, but the offside flag is up, and that's the third time Guerin's been busted.
Yeah, Guerin, I think they get so excitable down there when they have the ball at a chance like that. So of course you want to take advantage of it, but unfortunately get that third offsides penalty.
PA announcer is so enthused.
Yeah. He's a bundle of joy up there.
We mean that in love. Joseph Lindstrom was a PA announcer for soccer.
A lifetime ago. Not such a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
a couple years
Yeah,
ago.
always. There's a kinship for PA announcers.
Sure.
That's Brady Metzger picking himself up, and it'll be a free kick for Zionsville. Close to 5 minutes eclipsed here in the second half. We've seen a little bit better set pieces from Zionsville, punched away by Gardner. And they got the wind knocked out of him there briefly.
That was a great.
Zionsville's whistled for offsides.
Yeah, that was a great save there by Gardner, just literally punching the ball out of the air. He said, "Not today."
Cabotage looks to feed it to one of his teammates.
You got time if you're Zionsville. You have plenty of time. You don't have to panic. Anything can happen in just a couple minutes, let alone 34-25.
Yeah, well, we saw Guerin. 22 minutes is what eclipsed between their first 2 goals. I mean, you're right. But you need to be a little bit more, I think, to your point, a little bit more daring from the visitors.
Checking into the match, number 8, Tommy Hartman.
Yeah, you got to set the tone and the precedent, right? You got to make sure that you're keeping on the offensive, just like this.
Backhouse. That shot was smacked away. This one sent on and high onto that back net. And
Yeah,
there it is, taking chances.
Yeah, they're taking chances. I do like that. I like to see that out of Zionsville Eagles, and obviously what you need to do is continue to try to do that. Put Guerin a little bit on their heels, right? And Guerin's obviously you can tell in their body language they're able to control this game confidently, but Zionsville needs to get back on it.
Andrew Reese into the game, number 18 in black. Oh, and this one plucked away by Backhouse, took it right away from right. Zionsville, they have been more aggressive here, and we'll see. They've been keeping the ball on the Guerin defensive end.
It seems like it seems like a character check, honestly. Zionsville playing a lot more aggressive.
Yeah, well, Zionsville's head coach Rob Jordan, veteran of many campaigns, beginning at Pike, then at Zionsville, state champion a couple times, reigning state champion. He called that last group last year's one. It's one of those, not once in a lifetime, but they don't come around very often, where you just have a team that's just so special, and this unit trying to claim their own identity apart from the one that their immediate predecessor.
Yeah, this unit has definitely had big shoes to fill. I said it once, I'll say it again, but at the end of the day, you got to make sure that you're keeping on the aggression and just finding your identity, and they definitely have, having more wins than losses, and that's something special to definitely behold, is that you have the opportunity to repeat, and you want to make the most of it.
And Zionsville, they've played well this year. Challenging schedule. Both teams very challenging schedules. But so far, Guerin Catholic getting the best of Zionsville and what has been a rarity for the Golden Eagles. We have not seen much of the offense here in the second half as we were coming close. We've already played 8 minutes here. Now, another ball won at midfield by the visitors. McCarty. On the run is Jones. Chipped on by McCarty and stolen away for the moment by Cabotage. Lafiosco will play it back safely. And now it's Wright.
Yeah, Wright's been all over the place too, which has been really nice to see for Guerin.
Mati over to Reese. Andrew Reese, one of the juniors on the Guerin Catholic team. There are a lot of junior key contributors. Michael Cranley, who scored earlier in this one, is a junior. Gardner, a junior, the goalie. Haven't seen Peter Bedford yet, but the fantastic center back for the Golden Eagles is a junior. Tommy Hartman's a junior. Speaking of which, Hartman centers it. Chance here. Lafioska scores again.
Oh, man.
For his second goal of
Wow. Joseph Lafioska putting it home. Playing the guitar. Showing off. I love it. He got the ball right in front of the net, and if we're able to see it again, it was just such a nice, patient play, and he really left Raff in kind of no man's land, really. I mean, Raff wasn't sure which way he was going to go. And Lafioska was able to just put it home and just get it past him. I think Raff got one hand on it, but I mean, yeah, it was just so. Maybe he got 1 foot. I don't know. He's just a half second late to get down there and save that ball.
That was he had him 1-on-1, and then Joseph Lafioska is playing so well here late in the year. 6 goals for Lafioska in his senior campaign after scoring twice tonight. Now McCarty feeds it in front and slashed away by Mattia Bernoco, and it'll be a corner for Zionsville, their first of the match.
Good play out there by Mattia Bernoco. That was an excellent play. Great soccer name, by the way.
This is a fantastic soccer. There's some really good soccer names on this field tonight.
Yeah.
And none more. I mean, Roger Foster, weird. That old throwback name, but it sounds like he'd be a great player on the English national team. But Foster, he's 11 goals to his credit, dealing with a little bit of hamstring. You can understand Zionsville not playing him, want to make sure he's good for the sectional.
He's going to be extra important, coming forward the sectional. You could have to your point, you could see him as an English soccer player, maybe even a tennis player in the U.S. Open.
I could see that.
Or a golfer.
See that. This one's sent in. That's a nice shot, or nice entry, nice through ball. Stabbed by Backhouse.
Backhouse wanted somebody right in the middle there.
And 10 minutes are gone here in the second half.
It looks chilly in the wind. Everybody's got a blanket down in the crowd.
Hey, let's get a little dusk going on. A little dusk action. It was 55 when this match began.
Checking back in for Zionsville, number 9, Jack Sweeney.
It's currently 49 degrees and feels colder.
A beautiful October day.
Yeah, it's for a former football player. That's got to be. You got to get the blood going.
It's got to be. Yes. Oh yeah. It feels normal again outside.
It'll be Connor Jones's honors when the referee gives him the signal.
Much.
Oh wow! Look how much time's left in this game.
Zionsville has a lot of time to get shots.
They've got all the opportunities in the world to be able to get back in this one.
29, I believe, is the number we're looking for.
950. There you go. to the delight of everyone. And nothing doing. Should be a goal kick for the Golden Eagles.
Biggest thing I'm seeing right now is the communication from Guerin Catholic and what they've been able to do defensively to make sure those shots don't even have a chance, a semblance of a chance to get in there.
Yeah, it has been this defense for Guerin Catholic. Now their midfield play has really shone brightly as the season has gone on, but the defense for Guerin Catholic has been quite impressive and great communication. And that's even the case when Guerin doesn't deploy both of their center backs as they have tonight. And we'll see if Zionsville can capitalize on set opportunity. No. Susi sweeps in. Jones feeds it on to Jacqueline. Outside to Wagner. McFarland had a chance at it. He had a couple chance at it. Now Wagner sends it in. And coming through on the back end was Peter Hall. Oh, and there's that man again, Lafioska. And he's running a really, really long distance.
He's running.
Oh, here he is again. He's got Hartman with him. Hartman fed him earlier. That pass a little bit behind Tommy, and he's offsides.
Yikes.
And
I think he thought he was in a good position. I mean, I did too. I thought it was probably a good call, but I thought he was in a fine position.
Yeah, we'd have to have all that fancy goal line computer technology or whatever. But it was close, but that's the fourth offside against Guerin Catholic as we're inside 28 minutes to play here in the second half. Hartman more of a facilitator role in this match than the goal-scoring striker that he has been. There was Jones. Sent back by Jacqueline. Peace. And Jones. Deliberate pace by the Eagles.
Good boy, get that cross pass. There you go.
There's the cross, headed away by who else? Matthew Wright. Always there, and also frequently there is Lafioska, although he almost was able to recollect that ball.
Lafioska, exactly like you said, he's always there. 7-11, always open.
Yeah, he's been very impactful in this one. That's for sure. Here's Hall, and there's the classic Guerin swing. Wright will send it further over. Matthew didn't get enough on it. Eiler looking for a breakaway. Bernoko's on the inside. Bad angle for Jackson Eiler. And Bernoko got the better of him.
Yeah, Bernoko chased that down. And using his speed, he was able to get more in front of Eiler, and Eiler he didn't really have a chance to turn around in time.
Checking into the match for Zionsville, number 21, Leo Badalo, and number 2, Lucas Pignon. Back into the match for the Golden Eagles.
Thank you, PA guy.
Just to clarify. It'll be a throw-in for Wagner in Zionsville. A bomb. Now coming up tomorrow on Indiana SRN, it's one of the most prolific days in the network's history of football broadcasts. We got 10 of them, including the Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles hosting Northview, the Knights. You can tune in at 7 o'clock. We'll have that on the webcast.
Huge night for Indiana SRN.
Man, there's a lot of games. You're talking about which one are you calling? We'll just give a little rundown.
Sure, yeah. Tomorrow is Heritage Christian at LaPel. It's going to be a huge, huge game. LaPel coming off a win last week. Heritage Christian also coming off a win last week. Actually a loss last week against Covenant Christian, so they're going to have to figure out how to recover And yeah, it'll be a really, really good game, and we'll be on site for that one, and it'll be a great atmosphere. So we're excited.
Yeah, that Covenant Christian team, quite good.
Quite good. They have a strong running game. It really seems like they're unbeatable.
And so far they have been. Here comes a throw in for Guerin Catholic. Full schedule coming up on Friday, the radio games, and there's a lot of them. You want to do a little old-fashioned new age approach. Listen to the radio on the computer. Tri-County visits Frontier, Southport at Terre Haute North, Edinburgh at Traders Point, Newcastle at Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon having a fantastic season. Then Phelan Academy at Park Tudor.
Luke Cloran. Let's give a hand to Alex Gardner.
And Alex Gardner getting a nice ovation. Luke Cloran, the younger brother. The Cloran family has been very impactful in this Guerin Catholic Soccer Club. And the younger will get some playing time. He's done that earlier in this season, and then he's going to have the final 24 minutes of this one. Went through the radio broadcast coming up tomorrow, the webcast, including the Guerin Catholic game and the Lapel Heritage Christian game, as the Covenant Christian is hosting the Crimson Knights. And then Triton Central visits Cecina.
All good games on prime time, Friday night lights. It's good. Week 7. It's been fun. Been a fun year for IHSAA, and for all sports included. It's been really, really nice just with everything going on amidst all this, how well they've handled it and made sure everyone's stayed healthy for the most part.
That kick handled very well, and a score for Zionsville.
There it is.
Wagner, Charlie Wagner off the set piece, and it's 3-1.
Wagner got right in front of the goal. And when you're that tall, you want to be able to use your height to your advantage, and that's exactly what he did. Now Zionsville trying to hurry it up. No stoppage in the clock. Go ahead and go get it, because now you're on the offensive. It's 3-1. You got a chance. You got a chance now. Lots of time.
First goal of the season for Charlie Wagner, and it looked like this.
And we believe that goal was scored by number 18, Charlie Wagner.
It was.
I believe you're right.
Yeah, off the shin, actually.
Yeah, you can see Alex McCarty, who is well accustomed to scoring goals. He has 3 of them this year. He came up and congratulated Wagner immediately. And now Guerin Catholic has conceded a goal for the second straight game and for the third time in the last 4.
Now Zionsville's got a little more pep in their step. Immediately, you score that goal, all of a sudden it brings life to you.
Oh, that would have been a really tricky pass that Peter Hall tried. Trying to thread a couple of defenders and get it to Pignon. Now here's a nice lead. Eiler with the pep in his step, trying to get around Bernoco. And they're going to play on.
Great defensive play by Bernoco. Just being able to get just being able to get himself into position between the ball and his man. That was great. And Eiler had made a great play too, but honestly, Bernoco just won that time.
And the far side, right hooks it. And now things calm, at least for a little bit. This is typically when Guerin Catholic has found themselves in this situation, after giving up a goal, they're typically very aggressive, and you saw signs of that, and this pass is ahead of Leo Badalo.
Checking into the match again for the Golden Eagles, number 9, Keegan Perhaps.
And if you look at just bad luck if you're Luke Cloran subbing in, first shot you face after Alex Gardner pitches a shutout is a off the shin, a little knuckleball off a set piece.
Well, now he's warmed up.
Yeah, it's like a quarterback in football. You get the first hit.
That's right. You just got to get one, and then you're in. You're good to go. Oh,
a little contact.
Speaking of hits.
Yeah. And this one will go against Guerin Catholic. Mafioska. He disagreed with it. And the fans with the megaphone in the background, they disagreed with it. But we play on. 3/4 of this match has disappeared. 3-1. The Guerin Catholic lead trimmed back down to 2 where it was at halftime. And looking to change that is Connor Jones in Zionsville. Rex Ziegel leaves it over for Jacqueline. AJ drops it back, and a foul will be called against Guerin Catholic. So now Zionsville able to creep up more players. And we're going to send almost everybody. Peace will stay back, as will Jones. But there's 7 Zionsville Eagles in the 16-yard box. And he crushed it.
That would have been good from 80.
Man, sign him up for the football team. You need a kicker.
If he's not already. He might have a game tomorrow night. Who knows?
Farland plays it back. Chipped into the box. Swept away for the moment. Guerin not out of the woods yet, although Rex Ziegel mishit it.
There you go. Here's a chance.
And it's snuffed out momentarily by the precise passing for Guerin Catholic. Now Zionsville's going to have to regroup here with just under 19 minutes to play.
A lot of precise passing out of Guerin. They know exactly where that next pass has to be. And that's been a huge difference in the way that these offenses have been structured, because Zionsville has missed a few times in their approach.
And if you're playing, as we've seen so far this year, if you're playing a Guerin Catholic team, boys or girls, you need to be very precise with your passes, because Guerin will be. Like that, they're just both very well conditioned, well trained. They know where their teammates are going to be at all given times, and that type of coordination is a challenge.
That comes with your chemistry and your experience. Any team sports that when you're not able to practice together, and that's been a huge challenge for a lot of people because of the pandemic. And some states aren't even able to play any sports, but most of all, you're not able to build that chemistry. And when you're not playing games.
Checking back in for the Golden Eagles,
it's been good to see that both these teams really they know exactly what they're good at. They know where their teammates are supposed to be. And tonight, though, Guerin has just done that a little bit better.
I think it's Susie on the throw in. Hartman trying to run it down. And Zionsville able to get it out, at least for the moment, to McFarland. Swings it around. Just going to find Perharks. And Peter Hall sends a nice pass. Agreed, Joey. Here's Pignon. He scored a couple times lately, and that one just wide.
Just wide of the net on that one. Pignon.
And corner kick awarded to the Golden Eagles.
First corner of the second half for Guerin Catholic.
Just as our camera is doing, Zionsville just needs to focus now and just be able to crawl back, especially on the defensive side. Arguably more important than the offensive side right now.
They put their head on the ball that time. Knocked themselves into focus. Cabotage swings it. Cranley. Right. Susie. And this will be a free kick for Guerin Catholic. And if you're Zionsville, you really got to batten down the hatches here. You can ill afford to concede another with 16 minutes to play. You got that one. You got some momentum. But Guerin Catholic, that deliberate possession-based offense that they can at times deploy and frequently do, they can stifle things away.
You're down 2 goals within 16 minutes to go. I think it's no longer patience. You gotta go into hyperdrive.
Near side, Perharks. Trying to keep it in play, could not. It'll be a throw in for Zionsville.
Good physical play.
Jones sending a strong header for the Golden Eagles. Hartman.
You got a running start.
That ping pong back towards the Zionsville back. There's McCarty.
Just great D by Guerin all night.
Yeah, they had the one, but it wasn't even really defense. It was a set piece.
Right.
But it just when Zionsville's gone head to head with the Guerin Catholic defense, it has been very tough for the visitors. Making the run, Hartman. Wait for the defender. Nice move by Tommy.
Great move.
Nice pass by Tommy. Pignon, Cabotage, trying to swing it in, and that's gobbled up.
Yeah, a little too, not enough mustard on that one for sure. So Cabotage, next time he gets that chance, is going to want to put a little more on, but also still up 2-0, so it's not the end of the world, obviously.
Well, you want to have, if you're a coach, if you're Chris McGrath, focus on those little things.
Oh, yeah.
This is what you can do a little bit better.
Yes. Especially when you're winning.
Aiden Susi. Deflected nicely by Wagner, the goal scorer for the Eagles.
Wagner did a good job of tucking his hands behind so that he doesn't risk a handball.
That drive was left short. Easy save by Rath. And Zionsville got to go.
Good job by Rath on that. Raff, minus the deflections, has really been solid in goal and has been able to continue to just communicate, and that's been something we talked about right from the get-go, is his communication is going to be key, and because of that, Zionsville has prevented more chances for Guerin to score goals.
Yeah, Lafioska, even what you were saying, his second goal, Raff was in the right spot. It took that bad hop for him after it hit the ground. Great hop for Lafioska and Guerin Catholic. But that's what happened. In the eye of the beholder, it can shift.
Lafioska too with 2 goals tonight, and that's huge for going in your sectional, just for your confidence.
Yeah, Lafioska scored his 5th and 6th goal of the season on this evening, and the other goal scorer for Guerin Catholic was Michael Cranley, who found the back of the net for the 3rd time this year. A little discussion. The referees and the Guerin coaching staff, it appears. And someone's making the long, lonely walk across the pitch. And we'll be playing on shortly. Don't want to speculate, but what fun is that not doing so? But maybe a magic word was uttered.
A certain magic word.
Or phrase. And this surely is what everyone tuned in for, to see the discussion.
Yep, to see the boys in red get into it a little bit.
That's having a nice little chat. And the disagreement continues. Zionsville saying it's theirs. Guerin Catholic says it's theirs. The referees saying it's Guerin Catholic's.
You can hear the parents saying, let's play some ball.
And finally we will. Couple minute delay and back to action. Oh, he was on a head of steam, but just ball got to Hall instead of McCarty. Fed on by Sweeney. Redirected by Guerin. Coming up for these next two teams, Zionsville will be playing on Monday. Both teams will be playing on Monday. Zionsville plays number 2 North Central. Guerin Catholic plays Lebanon. Our next soccer broadcast will be with the ladies coming up. We'll talk about that in a moment. Go close to 11:30 to play here in the final regular season game of the season for these two teams.
Gotta imagine that Guerin's probably going to have some guys that maybe haven't gotten enough time during this regular season before a sectional in this last 11 minutes or so. Guerin will now throw in.
Yeah, those throw-ins, there's no rush if you're in Guerin Catholic's position. Hartman beats over to Cabotage. Jones got his foot stuck in quicksand for a moment.
Eiler's played so far up for Zionsville all night. And whereas Guerin on the other side has used a lot of their guys in the forward position to get ahead. That time a little push and shove there.
Yeah, a little between Matthew Wright and Jack Baum. Our next soccer broadcast here on Indiana SRN
Hunter Jones.
on next Thursday on the 8th. We have sectional 10 ladies version, and that's between Guerin Catholic and either the winner of Zionsville or Tech. So Joey and I might be able to see Guerin and Zionsville again, but you know, from the other side.
Absolutely. Might be that way.
And then depending on the winner of that matchup between Guerin and whoever wins the first game, we might be having the sectional final. And here's a key set piece for Zionsville.
Yeah, bad pass by Guerin out of bounds when they were trying to get it back over to start to clear, but ultimately didn't work out too well for him.
Crucial juncture here. Zionsville needs 2. This could be 1. Nothing doing.
Like got stuck between the elbow and the leg of couldn't tell who that was there, but
Alec McCarty.
McCarty there. That's tough. You need that chance on a set piece.
Back into the match for the Golden
Alec,
Eagles,
full name
number
Alexander.
3, Joseph Lapioska.
That means, well, Guerin, I'll put it this way. I'll tell the story this way. Guerin Catholic's both captains named Ethan. Both Ethan. 2 of Zionsville's captains named Alexander at birth. It's key. If you want to be a captain for Guerin or Zionsville, then either be named Ethan or Alex.
That's right. And if you're not, you need to change. But if you don't want, to be a captain.
The bad break for Ethan Mason, and here comes
that'll be one.
Another. We'll see if the card is distributed.
Hopefully not a frustration foul there. There by the referee. Ref.
And we wait. And Chippy, end of this match between these two teams is, again, season coming to a close, sectional coming up. Should be a free kick for Guerin.
Checking in for Zionsville, number 14.
For Guerin here, I feel like you have to just be patient. I mean, 8 minutes to go. Probably take the shot here or at least get a cross pass over to your forwards.
Nice entry deep into the box, but a little not deep enough. Hunter Jones ushers it on, but out of play.
Side out for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, and almost there. I think that you get that ball to Eiler in space right there, not so close to the white line. He's off to the races.
Perharks will throw it in. Throw in for Guerin Catholic and Keegan. 8 minutes to play. Guerin playing with that 2-goal lead. Pignon gets out of the corner.
A little too long. No one was there in the center anyway.
And heads up, Souvenir.
That's right. The big student section in the back behind Guerin's bench.
That's nice. That little natural berm. Well, it's not natural. It's built in there. But the berm.
I didn't see that megaphone earlier. Now I see it.
You did not?
The big cheerleading horn. Yeah. That's good.
Lafioska will throw in for Guerin Catholic. So you're inside 7.5 minutes to play in the final game of the regular season.
Lots to build on for Zionsville. I mean, you have this momentum. Take advantage of it. And just get it a little earlier. Start to catch fire a little earlier.
Let's see what they can do here in the final 7 minutes. Throw in for Zionsville. And no flag up.
There it goes.
Zionsville defense was expecting it.
Good
playing on, tumbling in the box. No referee whistle, and Raff plucks it up.
Good defense there. And a little push, a little extra on that one from Raff at the end there. Getting Guerin out of the way.
Yeah, it is definitely chipping. Here's that referee whistle, and sometimes in these situations, you might see the card come out of the pocket. Apparently it stayed in there.
Yeah, just stay sportsmanlike. I mean, you have a sectional. You don't want something to get too quite out of hand where you're unable to play one of your guys because they made a silly error. They get a red, and then all of a sudden they can't play. That would certainly not be ideal, especially when you're the defending state champions and you make a run.
Peter Hall centers it to Cranley.
Good move by Peter Hall there to get it out in open space. And all night, Guerin has just showed a lot of fundamental skills that have helped them surpass in science.
Lafioska leaves it back. Perharks sends it in off the shoulder of a Zionsville Eagle. Cabotage. And things calm for the moment for Guerin Catholic. Shot here. And a score. 4-0.
4-1.
4-1, excuse me.
And Lucas Pignon.
Look at Lucas Pignon. What a great play. Scrappy. Good mentality on that. I mean, he was, I don't know, he was like a cat on a mouse there on that ball. That was great. Great play by Pignon. Making sure that he was in position in front of the goal.
Back up to check in is number 21.
That was hard for Raff.
It's the 5th goal of the year for Lucas Pignon. Coming close, just under 5.5 to play. Guerin Catholic has scored 4 goals in a match for the 5th time this season. A strong Golden Eagle offense once again turns in another resolute performance. 2 goals in the first half, 2 goals in the second half, and they only conceded 1.
I think, though, what's been good for Zionsville all night is that the only time they've let up goals is they only let up 1 set-piece goal, right? So I think that once you're in position, I think you get an excellent defensive presence. But those scrappy plays like that, where you just kind of get guys out of position, I think that's kind of the nature of soccer in general. Once you're out of position, it's harder to not let up a goal because you don't have guys in certain places, and you kind of leave it on the goalie, and there's a huge wide net for them to score on. So you got to make sure that you keep it at the micro level. Make sure you're playing good defense.
Zionsville, number 4, Griffin Wright. And back into the match for the Golden Eagles, number 16, senior Dane Leonard.
You say Dame Lillard?
Dane Leonard, close. Cloran sends it on. That hit Jones weird, and here's Leonard. His ears were burning. Leaves it up for Lamb. Cut off at the pass.
Good defensive play by Wagner to get in the way of the direction of the kick. So approaching
back into the match for the Golden Eagles.
3 minutes.
Number 18, Andrew Rice.
You could definitely see Zionsville's balloon a little bit deflated now, as they after they scored that goal, a lot of elation, but now it just seems like they're just ready to go, get ready for the sectional.
Number 5, Cade Morrison. Check that. Number 5, Cade Morrison.
Leonard split everybody to knock that one out of play. 3 minutes, 20 seconds to play. 4-1 lead for Guerin Catholic over the number 7 team in Class 3A, Zionsville Eagles. Zionsville looking for a second. Leonard will escort it out of play. It'll be a throw in for Peter Hall with 3 minutes to go. Headed high by Wright. Now it's Morrison.
Continuing to pour it on now. Try to get a goal before the end of this game. Carry some momentum back into their sectional.
Nate Lamb in those red shoes, not able to do much with it as Wagner able to poke it on. Matthew Wright. 2.5 to go. Matthew Bernoco, so impactful in this match. Both him, Matthew Wright.
Bernoco's like, he loves being on an island for the guy. He's able to defend one-on-one. We saw him against Eiler quite a few times when Eiler had a lot of momentum going. Bernoco was the guy to stop him.
And the crowd, the home crowd, urging Nate Lamb, who's dealing with a wrist and arm injury earlier in the season, missed a lot of games, but able to get into the real game action tonight. Number 21 in black. It'll be a throw in for Zionsville, and Charlie Wagner in no rush to restart this game with $1:40 to play.
Checking in for Zionsville, number 15, Will
What's going to be so interesting about this playoff run for Zionsville will be their senior leadership as they go on, because if you're recovering from that championship hangover, right, you want to be able to recover well, and that only comes from your senior leadership. So as these guys move forward, they need to be able to do that.
Michael Cranley, and then the road gets very tough immediately for Zionsville. That'll be a free kick for Cranley. A little discussion there between he and Danny McFarland. We go inside 60 seconds to play. Lobbed in, headed high, headed out. Rice gives it chase. And it finds the foot of Griffin Wright. Down behind Lamb. And Will Varner involved in the act. A half minute to go.
They're not letting up. They're not letting Zionsville have any chances, really.
Yeah, coming up for both these teams on Monday, Guerin Catholic and Lebanon, Zionsville and North Central. Beginning of sectional play. Guerin Catholic very much seen themselves a championship contender, and they've looked the part tonight against an impressive and strong Zionsville team. But Guerin Catholic has got the best of them. 4-1 will be the final. Guerin Catholic defends home turf, and they're going to the sectional play on a little bit of a winning high, beating the Zionsville Eagles 4-1 on the strength of 2 goals from Joseph Lafioska. Michael Cranley and Lucas Pignon also chipped in 1 apiece. The 1 goal for Zionsville came off the foot of Charlie Wagner. And Joey Lindstrom, just kind of a couple final thoughts for you. Guerin Catholic getting a big win and a nice tune-up, and recently for Guerin Catholic, since their Noblesville loss, they have been undefeated, and the only blemish, if you can call it that, was a 1-1 draw against Carmel.
Yeah, and really what Guerin Catholic has shown tonight is just, you said it right at the end, championship contenders. That's what they are. We see it now as long as they play like they do, because they have such maturity in the midfield. They have such a patient offense, and when they know it's time to attack, it's time to attack. Not only that, though, they also take advantage of their space. We saw 2 goals tonight from non-set plays that were just random shots that just happened. You know, they were really well placed, really well put on the foot, and they also have played great defense tonight too. So Guerin, full head of steam going in the sectional.
Coming up next on Indiana SRN tomorrow, we have a lot of football. You can check our Twitter feed and go on, subscribe to our app, YouTube, and you can be able to check out 10 games to select from. Next for Guerin for soccer on Indiana SRN, we'll see the ladies on September 8th getting the winner of Zionsville and Arsenal Tech, I believe. And until then, alongside Tellion Johnson, Clay Rexroad, our producer, and Joey Lindstrom, our color commentator, I'm Jonathan Mathis saying so long from Noblesville, Indiana. Guerin Catholic victorious over Zionsville 4-1 on Golden Eagle TV, presented by Indiana SRN.